Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we got some great topics to talk about. There's been a new look at the Superman suit, but also we've got some news in regards to a new Supergirl series that's happening. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. Thank you to everyone that has been watching recently. As I've said on multiple videos, we're in this kind of transition phase where we're covering mainly DC content, but I want to cover other types of content. Like, for instance, I'm a huge Avatar fan. I was super excited to hear they're doing a new series. So obviously when that starts up and when all of that happens, I want to cover that on the channel. But if you guys have any other non-DC related TV shows or films you want me to cover, let me know down in the comments below. But for now, let's go ahead and get into today's main topic. So the other day there was this new promo for Superman, which is obviously not too far away. We're at the end of February right now. But this new promo basically gave us this really good new look at the Superman suit, which you can see on the screen right here. And I have to say, just looking at this suit looks great. Like, it looks like a nice mix between all the kind of new Superman suits when you compare it to like Superman Lois or Man of Steel. Like, I know all the backlash that has been coming from this promo is like, it's not bright enough, it's not enough like Henry Cavill's suit. Like, there's people who want it too much one way or too much the other way. I feel like this is a perfect balance. Like, if you look at the Superman trailer, the actual footage rather than this promo, I would say his suit is quite bright. Like, in most of the shots, especially in Norway, it's pretty bright. However, it will get ruined throughout the film as the battles go on, and it will look a bit more tattered and torn, a bit more dull, I guess. The color will probably fade out a bit. But just looking at the suit in its full glory here, I think it looks great. I really don't understand all the backlash. And you guys know me, like, I love Superman, I love all the actors that have played Superman, but I've got to say, I've been really flipping convinced by Tyler on Superman Lois that he may now be my favorite Superman, and obviously with him being my favorite Superman, I kind of got to go with his suit. Like, that suit was just perfect for the show, and I like that it's a bit more like that rather than too much detail like the Henry Cavill suit, which I think was a little bit over the top in my opinion. Now, you guys are entitled to completely disagree with me if you think Henry Cavill's Man of Steel suit is the perfect Superman suit. I understand that. I think it's a great modern suit, but I like it being a little bit more comic accurate, a little bit more colorful, and that's what you got with David Corenswet's suit. So let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on the Superman suit down in the comments below. But for now, let's talk about Supergirl. So, as you guys know, the Supergirl film is filming right now, and that is an adaptation of the Supergirl comic book series Woman of Tomorrow. I remember reading it when it came out, like I was reading it week by week, because at the time I was writing for Screen Rant and I had to cover comic books, so it was just perfect timing, and I really got into the series. And in no way did I think, okay, they're going to make this into a Supergirl film right away. So since then, I've been kind of keeping an eye on lots of DC comics, whether it's Supergirl, whether it's Superman, whether it's The Flash, whatever, because they are taking a lot of influence from the comics and what they're doing recently. Like, even if you look at what The Flash did with Godspeed, yeah, Godspeed's older now, but I think he first came in during Flash Rebirth, and then soon after on the TV show they started teasing Godspeed, and also they did Red Death. That's still a pretty new concept. So I wanted to bring up this new comic book series that has just been announced in a video. Now, obviously, I'm not like a pure comic book channel, like we mainly cover DC TV shows or DC films. So that's why I wanted to incorporate this in a video with lots of topics. And we still got a couple more topics to talk about, which has some major DC news, so don't go anywhere guys, even if you're not like super interested in comic books. But basically, DC is expanding their comic book lineup and what they're doing with Superman this summer, with new Crypto and Supergirl titles that are going to be coming to DC Comics. So I'm reading this article that will be linked in the description below from AIPT Comics, and they say DC Comics have made some big reveals at the retailer Comics Pro event today. The titles include Supergirl launching May 14th this year, so that's not in such a long time, and Crypto, the Last Dog of Krypton, which is launching in June. So those new titles are part of the Summer of Superman series that DC is running, and so Sophie Campbell, who is a writer but also a comic book artist, will draw Supergirl, and she is quoted as saying this: I came up in the comics industry doing mostly graphic novels that I wrote and drew myself, so doing the same with Supergirl feels like I'm returning to my storytelling roots. And she says, my main touchstones to Kara Zor-El were the stories and the wild costumes from the 70s, the 1984 Supergirl movie, and the CW show, which starred Melissa Benoist, which I was a huge fan of, which she emphasizes. In creating this version of Supergirl, I'll be drawing some of those influences as the series unfolds. So there you have it. That is the teaser for the new Supergirl series that she is working on, that's coming out in May. So this new series is all about Kara as being a major member of the super family in Metropolis, but Campbell is taking Supergirl in a new direction along with familiar surroundings as she returns to the town of Midvale, which we've seen in the Supergirl TV show. With a new series, Supergirl also gets a new costume, and Supergirl's fresh new look will be spotlighted on the Supergirl #1 main cover when the series comes out. So I think we all know by now that the CW Supergirl show in the Arrowverse has had such a huge influence. Like, Kara was always kind of similar to what Melissa played her as in Supergirl, but she has been popularized by the TV show, and that's why Supergirl is so popular. That's why they're doing the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow film right now, because she is very popular, and you saw it in the Flash film, the pairing between the Flash and Supergirl. It's not something you always see, and having them both appear in that film was definitely a sign of Supergirl's influence. Now, I love that the comic book writer and the artist is admitting that you'll see some of those influences from the Supergirl movie, from the CW show, and also the costumes from the 70s that she used to wear in the comics, which I think is a great thing, and I think is going to draw in a lot of people. I like that she's acknowledging this. It makes me more interested than if she was to say like, oh, I love Supergirl, but I'm not going to pay any interest to the Supergirl film or to the TV show or anything, because I feel like you have to take some of that personality that has definitely popularized the character in recent years. So that does it for that portion of the video. We got a couple more topics. These are some big topics in regards to DC. So it's been revealed that Daniel Craig is no longer attached to Luca Guadagnino's new DC film that's going to be set in the DC universe, Sergeant Rock. So we thought Daniel Craig was going to be coming on. He was attached to star in Luca Guadagnino's new film, Sergeant Rock, but apparently that has fallen through because he has passed on the role due to scheduling conflicts. I think that is the main reason, which is a huge shame because I do feel like Daniel Craig would have made a great Sergeant Rock, and I'm interested in the project because I do feel like it's one of the most out there projects. Like, it's not something you would instantly think of when you're like, okay, let's start this new DC universe, let's do Sergeant Rock. No, you think, let's do Superman, let's do Supergirl, let's do The Flash, let's do Green Arrow eventually, but you don't think, let's do Sergeant Rock. So that's going to be an interesting type of DC project because I do feel like it's going to be very Luca Guadagnino. It's not going to be kind of like similar to any other DC film out there, and I think Daniel Craig would have been great as the lead, but now they have to look for a replacement for him. There have been some rumors about certain actors showing up, but I'm not really going to speculate about that because, to be honest, I don't know who would be perfect for this role, but I am still excited for this, and we know that they are filming this later this year, so there's definitely a big emphasis on getting this casting done ASAP so they can get started on Sergeant Rock. So let's move on to our final main topic. This is to do with James Gunn, because just yesterday James Gunn posted a photo of him and Zack Snyder, and if you guys don't know where he is in this photo, he's in one of the main DC Studios offices, because we've seen this room before where like there was a bunch of DCU creatives who are working on films and TV shows, and they were all in this room. And so Zack Snyder came to visit James Gunn, came to visit DC Studios, probably just to see what's up, but also just catching up in general with his friend, because I do believe that they are friends. But obviously this photo has got a lot of people online speculating what's going on here. Has James Gunn called Zack Snyder in to do a DC film or a TV show? Well, yeah, it could be true, like maybe they might work on something. I do feel like it's not that far-fetched down the line if he does like an Elseworlds project or something like that. And it is curious why they met up at the office rather than like meeting up at one of their homes or something. So I understand the speculation, but I do feel like James Gunn is smart and he's not going to get Zack Snyder in really early on or something like that, because then people are just going to compare it to the Snyderverse. They're going to be like, this is all I've ever wanted, like, because he's got such a big fan base, they're going to want to see that more than they're going to want to see the DCU. So I feel like if Zack's ever going to join the DCU, it's got to be later down the line, and he's got to do like an Elseworlds project rather than something directly linked to what's happening in the main universe. So let me know, what do you think about this? Do you think there is something more to this rather than just two friends meeting up? Obviously, James has posted it online, so he knew he was going to get some good reactions from this. But for now, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, and also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Guys, keep coming back, keep watching all the videos, go check out any recent videos on the channel right now, because obviously I'm just figuring out what to do post Arrowverse, so I'd really appreciate all your support. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.